What happened?
What up?
Are we live?
Are we?
I don't know. I haven't seen the note yet.
You didn't see what I typed in the note?
I didn't see the notification yet. Are we live? I haven't seen it.
We should be. Our notification message just went out.
Oh,
It
there
says
it is.
hire
All right,
us
cool.
for birthday parties.
I'm not quite sure that's a good idea.
Here's why Bluey sucks, and you're stupid for liking it.
We're starting to sound like film theorists
I love
now.
Bluey.
We're 100% starting to sound like film theorists now.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, we are desperate for any news.
I mean, anything that's good is would be fine. I mean,
you know how desperate we are for news?
Yeah.
I watched the trailer for Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And the first comment was, can't wait for a bunch of 17 to 25 minute videos on this 37-second trailer. And immediately after, Emergency Awesome drops a 17-minute and 19-second fucking video.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like running through everything. And I'm like, oh God, we are so... We don't care, because we're just, hey Baka, we're just dumb. You know, like we got other shit going on. We just don't we just like to talk about this. So like usually during the week, sometimes we'll catch up, sometimes we won't, but Friday is our opportunity to kind of be like, yo, did you catch this? This is dope. Or like, so I guess we could talk about the Fantastic Four trailer. It looks fine. Yeah, I have no complaints.
I mean, I don't know how many times I'm going to fix this camera, but
you look beautiful.
Listen. Oh, thank you. You don't look so bad yourself. Here's the thing. Here are my thoughts on Fantastic Four. Listen, I'm actually kind of hyped for the movie in general because I'm like, I want to see MCU do it because we've gotten hot dog crap for these films for the past whenever they've come out. They've been hot dog crap. So I'm looking forward to potentially seeing what this movie could bring. Vanessa Kirby looks amazing. You know, I've always liked Vanessa Kirby. So
I'll keep my mouth shut.
In general. But I don't have a problem with the trailer at all. I like the trailer. What I have a problem with is everybody's opinions on the damn trailer. That's where mainly my issue has been over this past week. I've seen some of the stupidest posts that I could have ever seen this week about this thing. And don't get me wrong, I've played into some of it. You know, I saw there was some stuff about Namor. I thought that was funny. I was like, yeah, no way they ever see each other probably in the MCU. But it's funny to go the route of Namor. Will he see Sue Storm? Is he going to simp over her again? Get it? Oh, Reed Richards needs to look out because she's out there. Whatever. Fine. But this is where we got really stupid. Oh, man. Is Sue Storm already in the Mount Rushmore of women in the MCU? From a trailer, fam? Like from a trailer, fam. Like we haven't even seen the movie yet. But from like a trailer.
The answer is yes.
No, I reject that idea. Until we see the damn movie, I reject that idea. The stupidity of it.
Let's take a time out. Let's name the Mount Rushmore of chicks in the MCU right now. Switch, number 1 with a bullet.
Without a question.
She's got George Washington's face. Like, boom, right there. Switch. Number 1.
Scarlet Witch, you got to be number 1.
Yeah. Who's number 2?
You got to put Black Widow. I'm talking about Mount Rushmore, right? Mount Rushmore. You got to put Black Widow.
Top tier. Who's number 3? Because my number 3 and your number 3 ain't going to be the same. I know we ain't going to be the same.
Yeah, my number 3 and your number 3 are not going to be the same. I would probably put Maria Hill as number 3.
Wow. So Maria Hill's not even on my Mount Rushmore. Fuck Maria Hill in the MCU.
Nah, I love Maria Hill. I thought she was great.
Comic Maria Hill, yes. Fucking MCU Maria Hill, glorious dog shit. No, my number.
I enjoyed her. I enjoyed the portrayal of Maria Hill in the MCU. I thought that they didn't give her enough screen time. That was my main issue with Maria Hill. But Maria Hill, I would probably
is Nebula.
Well, my number 4 was going to be Gamora, but
okay. So I chose Nebula. I don't have Gamora at all on my list. So number 3 is Nebula because she had one of the best arcs of story throughout. Like she played herself twice in a movie. You know, like perfect role. Went from like obvious badass bitch to even more badass. She had the line in Endgame. It was like, idiot on the runway, steer clear, roadie. Like, you know, like, and then in Guardians 3, like, open the fucking car. Like, I love Nebula. She was a great character. She really, like, every other character felt like they were there for a reason. Nebula felt like a character that had a backstory. Gamora did too. No shit on Gamora. But, like, MCU-wise, love Nebula. She was everywhere all the time, always. And number 4 is Valkyrie.
See, that's funny because if I were to swap one person out, it would be Maria Hill, and I would put in Okoye.
Oh, so the reason I'm putting Valkyrie over Okoye is that I love Okoye, and I love Ao, and I actually love all of the Dora Milaje, but the suck of Black Panther 2. It's been long enough. It's been long enough. But not
she was damn
anymore.
Good in it though.
The suck of the absolute shit suck of Black Panther 2. Nobody in that movie is qualified. Like, everyone in that movie is no longer. Letitia Wright did a great job in a movie that sucked, right? Like, so what does it matter? Okoye did a great job. Oh God, what's the name of Lupita Nyong'o's character? I never remember it.
Oh, Nakia,
yeah. I love Nakia. She's awesome. But again, they don't do anything with these characters. So if this is like, there's two different things, right? There's like the opinion of people who are fans of Marvel and want to see who the best are. Then it's like, there's no question. It's got to be like you could always tell, right? Because if someone's like MCU, not comics, MCU, if they're like Captain Marvel is on that, you're like, you're fucking wrong, and you suck. Like, both of those things are true at the same time. Like, she's an awesome character. She's not good in the MCU.
She's not awesome in the MCU. Yeah.
Kamala Khan is better than her in the MCU. And we've seen her 1.6 times. So, like, no, you know. Photon
has had a better arc.
I'm gonna keep that different because there's a different reason. Teyonah Parrish is on my list. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm picking up what you're putting down, brother.
Yeah, so is she.
Touche.
Because I'm putting it down, man. Teyonah.
No, but I hear you. I concur because, like I said, it just pissed me off because I started seeing people get really crazy with the stuff that they were saying and the discussions, and I was like, yo, can we have the movie come out in the theaters first? But this is what happens every single time we get a trailer, right? Everybody gets hyped up, they get amped, they get stupid. they get hyped up, they get amped, they get stupid. And then the movie comes out, they're like, oh, I'm so disappointed. Well, it was, your disappointment really was because you had this unrealistic expectation. Like, what really, let's talk about this for a second. What does Fantastic Four First Steps have to do? Like, it's fairly simple, right? Like, what's that's the first thing that Fantastic Four, I'll ask you, what's the first thing that Fantastic Four First Steps has to do?
It has to tell a good, cohesive story, even if it's in an alternate reality with different people. It has to be a good family themed, because it is I don't mean family friendly, but family themed story. They are not a found family. They're not, this isn't Ted Lasso. This isn't Ted Lasso. They are a legitimate family in every definition of the word. There is a brother, a sister, and 2 best friends, and they're together because that's that's the way it worked out. Life gave them that, and they fight and they like Johnny is antagonistic to Thing, not because Johnny's an asshole. Johnny's not an asshole. Johnny's immature.
He's a 16-year-old child.
Yeah, he never grew up because he never had to. Johnny is immature, and the best way he can help his friend Ben not get over the fact that he is a hideous monster is by constantly ribbing him about being a hideous monster. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to. It's the same reason I can call my best friend any name in the fucking world.
Yeah.
It's the reason I get called certain things that I won't say on the stream by people who know me well enough to know that that's not okay to say, but it's totally cool that they say it to me. Like, don't say it to anybody else that I don't know that you know. Don't ever say that word. But, like, you can call me that word all day because you're right. You know what I mean? Do you know how gay I am, though? Seriously, I watched 42 minutes of this hair stylist on YouTube cut bangs. And it was just all different kinds of bangs. He had a technique for everything. I was like,
were you high? Were you watching
this? Like, straight fucking sober the entire time. I was like, I could do that. Like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Oh shit. So why do you twist so they have a lift? Oh my God.
Yeah, okay.
Short hair creates lift? I didn't even think of that.
You never know what you stumble upon. You're like, no, this is fascinating as F. Like, I'm watching it.
It's up there with cooking food shows for me. When I just watch people cook, I'm like, yeah, whatever you cook, great. I can't do that. My stove has two. Burning hot, barely on. No middle. There's no medium on my stove. No eyebrows. 40 minutes to boil water. That's the only 2 temperatures my stove has. My oven is the same. Whatever you set it to, it's 365. It don't matter. You put the broiler on, it's broiling at 365. You know,
365. All right. So that's an okay medium temperature. It's an okay.
Right? Everything is pulled pork time. Like, everything I cook is slow roasted. But that's like the point. Like, they fuck with each other because they're friends, and that's Johnny.
Yeah.
Sue feels Sue's powers are invisibility because Sue feels like nobody pays attention to her.
Correct.
Ever. And that's my big issue with Kirby. Please understand, this is nothing negative. She's too hot to be Sue. Jessica Alba was too hot to be Sue.
Yeah.
Sue, I'm not saying Sue isn't hot. I'm saying Sue is cute. Sue Storm has always been a cutie patootie.
Mm-hmm.
And when you make her too hot, the story goes differently.
It takes away a little bit from the lore. Yeah, it takes a little bit away from the lore.
Well, it makes Reed dumber somehow. Like, if Sue is a cute girl next door type, it makes sense that Reed doesn't really give too much of her attention to her because he's too busy solving science and shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh yeah, it's Sue. She's right there. Yeah, she's wearing an evening gown. We have to go out in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Reed, you haven't showered. Yeah, how long does it take to shower? 5 minutes. And get dressed. My suit's ready. It's at the dry cleaner. I just got to pick it up. Reed, 15 fucking minutes. She's right there. She's waiting. It's fine. Sue's in the background like, hi. Like, it doesn't work if Sue is the reason why the Namor thing is all the time in the comics is because nobody else is throwing it to Sue. Namor is literally like, yeah, girl. Like, he's doing the hand motion. He's like, yo, I'm going to treat you right, girl. I'm going to give you the big gulp size when we go to 7-Eleven because he ain't got no money. Like
that's so primitive. Why would you
T'Challa tried? Yeah. No, everybody, like, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people tried to bone Sue because Reed ain't giving her any. And they're like, yo, this girl needs to get some. Right? Like, some dude, the dude's power is stretchy, and she just looks like she hasn't had an orgasm in 6 years. Like, what are we doing, dude?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Remember the scene in Watchmen where Dr. Manhattan was going down on this chick while he was also doing math in another room, like on a blackboard? And I was like, bro, it's cool that you could do that, but like, you can't let her ever find that out, right?
You're right.
Once they figure out that all we do is A is for Apple, B is for Batman, C, you know, like once they figure out it's the alphabet or the Gettysburg Address, we're fucked. 4 score. Rated T for teen. Hire us for your kid's birthday party. That's our new running joke now.
Yeah, and so that usually is Sue, and then Sue technically is the one that also, for all intents and purposes, is the heart of the team, if you want to look at it from that perspective, right? Because she's the one
the glue that holds
understands
that team together.
Everybody's thing. You know, so yeah, so that dynamic has to show up also in the movie as well. But then the number 2 thing for me is that there has to be some connectivity to what is going on after this story. There has to be that. If there is not that, then what's the purpose of this movie? That's, to me, those are 2 things that need to happen. What you said, good cohesive story, family aspect, family dynamic, they are the first family. But then there's also, how does this lead to the next thing? And that's what we haven't had yet. Captain America Brave New World, to a certain extent, should do that, but it doesn't need to do that. Fantastic Four needs to do it. Like, it has to do it.
Captain America is the State of the Union address.
Yeah.
This movie that comes out in 7 days. That's I don't know. Are we going to be able to talk about it?
So I'm seeing it on the 13th. I don't know when are you seeing it like that day? Like at nighttime? Because then we may have to.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Also, let's be clear. We might have to do a spoiler chat, spoiler review thing on it, because it's not like. We'll talk a little bit about. I'll see it. Don't worry about that. Like, I'm just saying, like.
I'm not worried about that part. It's just more about how comfortable are we going to be talking about it.
I think we have to give it a week to go into detail. So I think we could talk about our feelings on it.
Okay.
Non-spoilery, like no plot points. What I could, people fuck words all the time. Like, I hate it. Like, spoilers is giving you parts of the story that are important. Like telling you something that a reasonable person could guess is not a spoiler. It Galactus is in it because the trailers show it and the teasers show it. Right. If you're avoiding the teasers, well, first you're probably not watching 2 dudes talk about it on the internet. But you know what I mean? Like, that's silly. But I think for movies, especially for big movies, we did it for Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, I think giving a week.
I think we didn't go too in depth about how we felt about it. It was just more about how we felt about the movie. Yeah. It was pretty much primarily
and then
that.
The next week we talked about it, right?
We went into,
and it's different for TV shows, right? Like, if a TV show gets released on Thursday, I get it. It's probably not an easy pass. But if a TV show gets released pretty much before Wednesday, whatever. You should be coming here to find out what happened Wednesday, if you didn't watch it, you know?
Yeah, even on Wednesday, it's like at that point where it's like, bro, it's Thursday, Friday.
You go watch it, then come here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
You don't use your free time. Don't waste your free time on us. which is why we're not going to be talking about Spider-Man, because neither of us watched it this week. I know for a fact you didn't.
I watched it. I watched it all.
What?
I watched everything today. I watched Invincible. I watched Friendly Neighborhood
I watched
Spider-Man.
Invincible and Dexter today. I was like, oh, Spider-Man? Nah, I'm all right.
Yeah, I went into a little bit of a rabbit hole on other things. I didn't rabbit hole.
40 minutes of bang cutting.
Oh, a different conversation. But yeah, I didn't go into like a rabbit hole on what happened in Friendly Neighborhoods. But I'm watching that show primarily for the sake of, hey, if there's something cool that happens, we'll talk about it.
Jay like that's brought up The Expanse, and I have to not talk about The Expanse. I fucking love The Expanse. All right, I love space. You don't know. There's 3 things I love that make me a child: space, dinosaurs, and trains.
Oh, I should tell you this. Tomorrow night, officially, I will be getting into Skeleton Crew. Me and my daughter have a planned night where we're gonna be binging probably like the first 3 episodes. Nothing crazy. Just like the first 3 episodes. We'll just go into it for a little bit.
Well, you're gonna love it. And she's gonna love it because there's nothing not to love, because it's a very simple and fun story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with Jurassic Park. The new Jurassic Park movie. Let me be clear. The person who loves good movies,
yeah,
hasn't shown up to watch a Jurassic Park movie since Jurassic Park 2. That person died. Like that version of me doesn't exist for Jurassic Park movies. A Jurassic Park movie is on. I'm watching it because there are dinosaurs in it. Are they accurate? I don't care. Is the acting good? I don't care. Does it make sense? It doesn't matter. There are dinosaurs in it.
You're watching it for the plot. The plot is
the plot is dinosaurs. It's the same reason I watched Euphoria. I was watching it for the plot. It's a really good show. Sydney Sweeney's tits. Like, what? Did I say the quiet part out loud? Yeah, really good show.
Yeah, you did. 100%. That wasn't censored.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we? Yeah, this is a great show about. Oh, okay. I want to see what dumb shit these. Listen, this is the most important. The original Jurassic Park story was not a story about dinosaurs. The Michael Crichton novel was a story about illegal cloning, which is why at the beginning of the second book, which is The Lost World, John Hammond is there, although he did die a gruesome death in the first book. The cloning of dinosaurs was a multi-billion-dollar cover-up for human cloning, and that is why Inotech. I don't want to get into Jurassic Park. I can talk about Jurassic Park forever. I fucking love Jurassic Park. The dumber the movie, the better. Give me big dumb dinosaurs. They already ruined it. It's already not a good story, so give me the dumb shit. Same reason I watch Transformer movies. Same reason I watch fucking Fast and the Furious movies. Yeah. Oh, what's Fast and the Furious movies about? Family. No, it's about flying. It's about riding cars into space, which has space. You know, like, no, the Bay Transformer movies. Again, there's 2 types of movies. There are movies that make you think, and there are movies that make you not. The movies that make you not think better not get thinking into their thinking movies.
Mm-hmm.
You could think about them after, but you don't want to think about them when you're watching them. And then there's the movies that make you think, like Bullet Train, if you've seen Bullet Train, or any Edgar Wright movie. You know, any of what's the holy trinity of Edgar Wright movies? It's At World's End, Shaun of the Dead, and Hot Fuzz.
Shaun of the Dead.
Watch Shaun of the Dead. Watch Shaun of the Dead. It's a very dumb movie, but if you pay attention, everything in Shaun of the Dead is hilarious.
Yeah,
it is 100%. It's so dense with comedy. Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay. Yeah, why did I watch all of these? Why did I watch Godzilla versus Kong, Godzilla X Kong, Kong Godzilla 3? Why did I watch all these movies? Well, in the first one, the monkey fought the lizard. In the second one, the monkey and the lizard fought a giant fucking mecha lizard.
Right.
Which is a transformer. And in the third one, the monkey and the lizard fought a different monkey and a different lizard.
Once again, the plot. That's the plot.
Well, it doesn't make sense. I don't care.
Right. That was the
Stop putting humans in my kaiju movie, motherfucker.
You know, this is one of the things that frustrated me a little bit, and this is why I understood that they didn't understood their assignment. I used to watch the Step Up movies, which are Step Up 1, Step Up 2. I used to watch this
Step Up to the Streets is number 2. Fuck you.
100%. That movie is fire. But why is it fire? Because of the story? I don't know what the story was about. The dance choreography was amazing. Why did I watch about.
Bring It On? This is not a cheerocracy. This is a cheertatorship, and I'm overruling you. I moved here from Fort Lauderdale. Your team has no gymnastics. Your school has no gymnastics team. This is a last resort. Bring It On was a phenomenal fucking movie because it was stupid with girls that are cute doing flips. I was like, you got me.
Yeah. Oh,
Step it up. Step up. Like, yeah, you got me. It was cool dancing. Anything with Julia Stiles. You got me. She's a crazy bitch.
So once they stopped, they started doing more story. That was when the movie went downhill. I was like, I didn't come here for this. I didn't come here for this. I came to see them dancing in water, in the rain. That's what I wanted to see. Rain dancing. Why are we now talking about our feelings? I don't want that.
Why do we go to Marvel movies? It's very simple. They're superheroes, and the stories are as simple as your brain needs them to be in order for you to enjoy the story. That's it. They don't have. The more they put into it for like eagle-eyed viewers to watch, that's great. That's what the entire YouTube industry built off of. Like, oh, let's do Easter eggs and blah blah blah, and theories and stuff.
The theory.
That's great. That's more information. That means the people were so enthralled with the movie, they weren't. Which is what you want from a movie, to enjoy a movie.
Right.
Captain America, bro, Hulk and Leader. Hulk ain't never gonna fight his own bad guys.
And that's the one thing that, like, when I talked to my wife about it, so I talked to Desi about this multiple times, and I'm like, the reality of the situation to me is that when I go into this movie, what excites me about this movie is that I get to see a new Captain America. There is Red Hulk. I know Leader's about to do some crazy stuff. I want the storyline to be good enough, but really ultimately what I'm looking for is the action. That's really ultimately what I want. And I want the story to be good enough. When I go into Fantastic Four, the Fantastic Four, their powers are cool. But for all intents and purposes, I'm going in there with the mentality of I want to see how the family dynamics work out. Does it remind me of what it's like in the comics? Because that's what makes them them. But when it comes to Captain America, Brave New World, I'm looking to see how the hell is this dude about to fight a man that overheats and can overheat to the point where he can burn the entire core of the earth. How is he gonna fight this guy? That's what's interesting.
And he also turns into a fucking monster. He also turns into a giant Red Hulk. It's crazy.
That's it. So
the Leader is too smart.
Right.
The Leader is too smart for my fear. And I think I said this before. I think I've said this to you before.
Yeah.
My fear is that they're going to try to make Cap Sam look like a better Captain America. and that's gonna fucking fail.
It is, bro.
Because he's not a better Captain America.
He's not.
He is a good replacement Captain America. There is nobody, no writer, no viewer, no fan who wouldn't rather see Steve Rogers.
Steve Rogers.
It doesn't, it's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. People want to make it that. You're welcome to it. Steve Rogers is and always will be the Captain America. Same reason for a lot of people Hal Jordan will be the Green Lantern. There are other Green Lanterns. It's cool. I love them. They're great. Some of them not so much. Some of them, yeah. How many Robins are there? As far as I'm concerned, there's one Robin. And then he gave up and started becoming Nightwing. So they started casting, you know. I love Cap Sam. Cap Sam is dope. No problem with Cap Sam. Not even no problem. Legitimately happy to see it. He's not Steve. And they made that line. Really he said, I'm not Steve Rogers. Good. He best not be Steve Rogers. He best show up and do different shit. Don't try to speak.
Be Cap
he
Sam.
better even start a speech like, I'm not good at speeches, so I'm going to make this short and simple. We win or people die. Best Cap speech, give him the Oscar.
Perfect.
Nailed it. Perfect, good. Sam. Perfect. Yeah. This is the dude who said, I just do what he does, but slower. Like, that's the arc of Cap Sam. Like, that's what he's got to be. What Steve is, but a little slower.
That's all we want. That's the thing. We don't. That's the fear is that they will try to insult our intelligence. that's the issue, is that they will try to insult our intelligence somehow, because he now has vibranium, which well, actually the vibranium's gone, and he gets the adamantium. Whatever, you get the point. You've watched the trailer. That's not a spoiler.
But it's still a shield. He still gets it. It's not like he doesn't get vibranium. He still has a shield.
Right.
Bucky can punch with the power of 1,000 dicks. Cap got a shield that bounces well. Like, what are we doing here?
Like I said, I don't want them to insult my intelligence by telling me that there is some sort of brute force way that Cap Sam is going to be able to win this match. For all reasons, he should not win this fight. And that's the reason why I'm going to see it, because I want to see how does he do this fight.
Look at what Jay said.
Remember when Ant-Man...
Oh, shit. Yo, I don't, like, this is not the time to pander. You tried pandering for like 3 fucking years. And it failed.
It didn't
and the
go well.
only people who supported you, and the people who are still sucking your balls, Disney, are the people who don't get views. And the people who are assholes, and I don't even agree with 90% of the time, are getting all the fucking views.
And they don't even agree with all the things that they're saying 90% of the time either. But that's a separate conversation for a different time. Right. And that's the thing. Right? They don't have to do much for this movie to be a success. They don't.
But Fantastic Four, they do. That's the dichotomy.
Bro,
Fantastic Four, they gotta work their ass off. I trust the actors. I trust the writer. I trust the visuals we saw were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, thanks, Jay. Yeah, we keeping the comic is chucking along. Go on.
A lot of what's going on in that movie. All it needs to have at the end of it is a nice little bow that explains how Reed gets to, I don't even want to say our universe, gets out of his universe.
Out of his universe, yep. They've already left some breadcrumbs to show that he's working on something. Like, we saw that in the trailer.
Give me a mention of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a mention of Latveria. I don't need to see him. I'd like to see him. I don't need to see him. Give me a mention of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I've had a lot of time to think about it.
That's usually not entirely good.
I truly believe. No, I'm going to say something. You're going to be like, I truly believe that Robert Downey Jr. is capable of pulling off a phenomenal Victor Von Doom.
Oh, I don't think there's a question.
No, like, I've thought about it.
Yeah.
at length. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night sweating. I believe he is capable of delivering one of the most masterful possible pieces of Doom. My issue is, and will always be, I don't think that's why they brought him back.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
And that's my fear.
That is what we said from the beginning.
I don't want the scene where Spider-Man sees Doom without a mask, kind of like partially destroyed mask, and he goes, Mr. Stark? I don't want that scene. That scene is dog shit. Don't ever show me his fucking face.
Yeah.
You don't need to show his face.
For Doom, you don't need to ever show his face. The only reason why we ever saw his face was because we needed to explain what happened to Doom. That's the only reason. And that was to explain to us, not to everyone else, the heroes of the world. It was to us, the fans, the viewers, the readers. That's why we find out.
They're gonna do Galactus right because Ralph Ineson is dope. The guy they got. If you ever heard his voice? If you ever heard Ralph Ineson's real voice, like real life, what he sounds like, you're like, oh, they didn't even cast this dude based on acting skill. They cast this dude because he sounds like Galactus.
Yeah, I heard. I heard his voice. Yeah,
you heard his voice. He's like, that dude's voice does not come from him. Like, you look at his face and you're like, wait, let me bring up a picture of Ralph Ineson. Hold on. That's not him. That's not him.
No. Well, okay.
Ineson. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
This is the dude, right? This dude.
Yeah.
He looks soft.
No, he 100%. But if you hear his voice,
but
though,
then you
100%.
listen to his voice in Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Or in The First Omen, which was last year's movie. This dude's voice fucks.
Yeah.
I can't even do it. I'm not even gonna try. It is.
Nah, you don't even.
This
try,
dude looks like he speaks from his toes. Like, that's how boom. Like, you're like, oh shit. So this dude, they're not even gonna CG his voice, or like not CG, but like digitally alter his voice.
Yeah.
It's just gonna. This dude is just talking in the mic. He's like, "I come for you," and you're like, "What the fuck?" That's just what that dude sounds like. It's crazy, man.
Legit.
So I have no fear of the cast. I have no fear of the direction. I have no fear of the cinematography. As always, as lately always, I have problem with who is telling the story. What story are they trying to tell? So yeah. And the other thing is, let's be clear, they're not ever bringing Jonathan Majors back.
Oh, this was funny.
Yeah, I saw this pop up and I was like, wrong.
Wrong. That was funny.
Yeah, they're not doing it. They might bring Kang back.
Why would they bring back Jonathan Majors? First and foremost, they have too much pride and shame, both of the things at the same time, to try to bring back Jonathan Majors. Also, I can see why Jonathan Majors would accept it. I can see why he would do it. Because, I mean, that bag is still going to be good. So he would still do it. But why would they go back to that well? Because they would essentially be admitting to a wrongdoing.
To help me rebuild.
Oh, with all due respect, sir, when you passed the Sokovia Accords, you tore the Avengers apart. Why the change of heart?
I represent all Americans now. Hell, half of them wouldn't even be here without the Avengers.
I don't like that they showed this, so I'm going to stop watching it. This feels like...
Yeah.
This...
Number one, it doesn't look like it's finished. That's the first thing. But...
Official clip? Ugh. Don't show clips of the movie before it comes out. You had 3 trailers. Like, what are we doing?
This has always been my issue with Marvel as well, is that they get to the point where they start showing too much. And that's why I usually stay off the internet for probably about 2 weeks or so, 2-3 weeks, close to a month before a movie comes out, because I just don't want to see the extra things.
So
because at that point, I want to be able to get at least have some sort of surprise, because I know how I am. When a trailer comes out, I do all the things. I'm on all the forums. I'm on the internet. I'm watching the trailer over and over and over again because I'm a freaking crazy person. That's me. I get it. I'm listening to the people who I enjoy their Easter egg breakdowns to see if they found the same things that I found, or if I agree with what they say. Yes, I am that type of person. Do I agree with what they actually said? Yes, that's me. Um, so like that's enough for a trailer. The first 2 trailers that they show. After that, I don't want anything else, because it almost ruins the experience for me personally. I'm not telling people what that they shouldn't do anymore, breakdowns or whatever the case is. I'm just saying from me to Marvel, I ain't watching that, because I just want to at least just be able to go in there and be like, oh, this is the first time I ever saw this. They put out too much, and it almost like it dilutes the movie itself. That's my thoughts.
look, they give enough to talk about. I honestly, I just think people don't give a shit, and I wouldn't be surprised to find out that clips like this don't get more viewership. They get less viewership as they go.
Yeah.
But at some point, like, what's the old expression? Like, when you made the sale, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, stop talking.
Yep.
When you get the yes, stop talking. Like, you've done it. You've done all you can. If you keep selling, you're gonna
Over.
sell. You're gonna talk yourself out of a sale.
Mm-hmm.
There was some controversy with Rob Liefeld, who will no longer work with Marvel after Deadpool and Wolverine premiere indignities. So Liefeld apparently had some issues at the premiere event. Like
Yeah.
I've heard a
Like he
lot
wasn't
about
invited
it.
to it, and then
No, I think he was invited, but he wasn't like invited to do. I think this is a 6 of one, half a dozen of another kind of story, where
Okay.
like Liefeld thought he was more important than he is, and because he was treated differently by different groups, like Fox and shit treated him differently, and
Yeah.
I think that he expected something and didn't get it. I think Disney / Marvel / whatever should have kind of treated him a little bit better than they did, and I think that him expecting to be treated better than he was is on him. So and also, let me be perfectly fucking clear on this. Rob Liefeld doesn't own the rights to Deadpool. He does get a
And isn't
he's
he a
not like
co-creator? He's a
it does
co-creator, right?
it ever since the Batman Superman fiasco of the fucking 70s,
Yeah.
where like the people who own them died and their estates maintained ownership. There is no character that is ever owned wholly by whoever invents the character if you write for any of the 3 studios, which is Disney, DC, Marvel, or even Image.
Image, yeah.
You are always at best you are is a co-creator. So full credit, Rob Liefeld did create the character of Deadpool. Also important to note, the original version of Deadpool, when Liefeld created him, was dog shit and nobody fucking liked him.
Yep.
That doesn't mean anything. The character evolved over time and became good. He created it the same way we talk about Stan Lee and with reverence, but like fuck, who cares? Jack Kirby with reverence, like we talk about these regular people doing a regular people job, and like the drama that who cares? Like they're just regular people. Nobody owns anything wholly anymore. Nobody owns Wolverine. Marvel owns all rights to Wolverine. They could sell those rights they could lease those rights to Wolverine. They could do anything they want. The people who wrote, created, whatever, they get credit in perpetuity based on whatever the deal was that they signed. Was it a sweetheart deal? No, never was. Right? You took a job. Liefeld took a job as a young kid drawing fucking comics. He created a character. The character took off over time. He gets more. That's fine. And I agree that he shouldn't have been treated the way he was. and I think that sucks, and I feel bad for him. But I also think that your response, your ownership of this character, like ownership, doesn't entitle you to fucking anything, because your involvement in this movie was nothing. Like, if a comic book is the best, if a Deadpool comic comes out next week and it's the #1 selling comic of all time for whatever fucking reason, like it sells 40 million copies, they have to print it for another 6 months just to cover the ask.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a fucking special card. Like, he created the character, whoever wrote that story, whoever inked that story, those are the people who are doing it now. So like I said, 6 of one, half a dozen of another. There was 2 wrongs here. The story is not about him being wrong. The story is about him feeling like he was wronged.
He was wrong,
in my opinion.
And that's the reason why he doesn't want to work with them anymore. Okay.
And he also, so here's the thing, like, most lucrative creator deal, has been fighting and diminishing co-creator Fabian ever since. Was featured in the first movie as a cameo. Again, co-creator credited listed in all movies. Invited all premieres. Has jokes and last name. Shit on other Deadpool creators in the past. Has anyone got their Kickstarter yet? Is anyone actually crying about not being invited? Oh, it's the after party. That's what he was bitching about. He didn't get invited to the after party. Yeah. So I'm not trying to bastardize the guy. Like, I don't think he's an asshole or anything like that. I think, like, and I would never defend Disney, but this sounds like a story of 2 assholes being assholes, right? Yeah. Like,
by the way, Matt Fabian Necessia, really cool dude, really cool.
Who?
Fabian Necessia, the co-creator of Deadpool.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he's really cool.
That's awesome. New trailer for Thunderbolts will drop either the day of the Super Bowl or the day after, and it will be attached to Brave New World.
Didn't we already get 2 trailers of this? Am I missing something?
Are they just well aware that Thunderbolts is the movie we want to see?
They might be. Because I'm 100% going to see that in the theater.
There's no DC news. 100%. I'm not even looking.
There's nothing to talk about.
There is one thing to talk about. I'm just making sure.
The only thing about DC is that everybody is already pinning it. July's gonna be a big month, right? Because you got Jurassic World, you got Superman, and you got Fantastic Four. But that's the only reason why Superman was brought up. Is that's it. Jurassic World, Superman, and Fantastic Four. Yeah. Only reason why Superman was brought up was because Fantastic Four came out. I think the trailer for Jurassic World also hit this week, or was that last week?
This week.
Tuesday. Okay. Yeah, so that's the reason why everyone's like, who's gonna duke it out? Who's winning this month? By
Marvel
the way, Jurassic
World's
not winning.
It is gonna win.
Jurassic World.
Sir?
Jurassic World.
Sir, I will bet you 1 penny that
I'll raise you 2 pennies.
No, that's not fun. It's got to be the Trading Places bet. It's got to be an amount of money so inconsequential that it's like, why bother even betting? Like, the Trading Places bet is that, like, locked into my brain as the perfect bet. Like, I will bet you $1 that we could ruin a man and turn a homeless man into a rich, successful businessman in the one swoop. You know what I mean? Like, fucking insane. Like we gotta play chess with people's lives for $1. Jurassic World's gonna fucking, dude. People are gonna have an option. They're gonna be able to, like, do I watch another Marvel movie that hasn't been too great, or do I watch a movie I know is going to be bad but has dinosaurs, and dinosaurs win?
But here's the thing: what if Brave New World is good, and then what if Thunderbolts slaps? Then people might be a little bit more interested in Fantastic Four.
All right, hold on.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm driving in.
I think Superman has no chance. By the way, like Superman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm driving in a town near me, right?
Yeah.
Suffice it to say, this town's demographics skew a little bit more. If you look at like a brightness scale, it's lower on the brightness scale. If you catch what I'm meaning.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
So just to generate, and I'm listening to Spotify in my truck, and of course, what I'm listening to, not too loud but loud enough, is Not Like Us.
Okay. All right.
So I come up to a stop sign. My window is cracked a little bit. And I hear another person in the SUV next to me also listening to Not Like Us.
This is getting interesting.
And I'm like, but not, we wasn't synced or anything, but I was like, hey. They were on the A minor part, and I was a little bit further in. So I was like, so I lowered my window, and I looked, and it was the whitest woman I've ever seen in my life. So I look, and then now, so she's questions, and she lowers her window and hears that I'm also listening to it. And I'm laughing. Like, I'm not heavy laughing. I'm just like, that's a funny scenario. And she goes, fullest Valley Girl voice, I love this song. Now I'm dead. Now I'm like, ah! Like, I'm slapping. I'm done. And she kind of tilts her head and looks at me funny. And I go, we're the whitest people in the whitest town in New Jersey. This should not have happened. And she gets like pouty face when I say that.
Crap. Yeah.
The reason I'm saying that is that chick's going to watch Jurassic Park. Like, that's what's happening.
You're right. So to be fair, Jurassic World is going to appeal to a much wider audience. If we want to go technical terms, it will appeal.
Kids
to
are going to go see Jurassic
audience.
World,
yeah,
because Dino Thawth. Like,
I forgot this. I forgot because it is July. Kids are out of school, so I think my biggest issue with Jurassic World is that there's no Bryce Dallas Howard, and I don't know how I feel about that. But there is Scarlett Johansson, so
she's got to get some work. She's got to bring in some of the money. I don't think Colin Jost is bringing in that much as,
no
head writer on the 40. I was gonna say 30 Rock, but SNL. Marvel is currently casting for a recurring role a female character in her 40s of Greek descent for Born Again season 2. I don't believe
Greek.
Yeah, my brain is like Elektra, but and here's the thing: why would they be casting a 40-year-old woman to play Elektra?
That's why it didn't make any sense when you said 40-year-old. I'm like, why is that specific? That's too specific.
Like, when you say 40, you are looking mom energy.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't mean old; it just means momish. Like, 40 is mom. That's how old moms are. Like, they have children.
The intent. Yeah.
If you say 20s, you think anywhere from teenager to young adult. You don't say 30s. You know what I mean? Because 30s is not as an irrelevant age in acting. Anyone could be 30. Like, you could tell, like, an older dude could play 30 and just had a hard life, like a drug addict. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean anything. A 20-year-old could play a 30-year-old that looks young. Like, it doesn't mean anything. But when you specifically say 40s, that means you're looking for, like some crow's feet. You're looking for Marissa Tomei, Like...
Yeah, but that's why I don't understand. I'm like, who you said Elektra, and I'm like, I don't, but why? I mean, Matt Murdock.
It can't be for Elektra.
Matt Murdock is not. I mean, Charlie Cox is what? How old is Charlie Cox?
He might be in his 40s. Charlie Cox might be in his 40s. But either way, Charlie Cox is playing Daredevil, and Daredevil at the time of this is because he graduated with his law degree, so that makes him about 26. They interned, right? So they worked for I think it was a year at wherever place they worked. How many years have passed plus blip shit plus all the other stuff?
Yeah, you're right. The blip that they have an effect there. Yeah.
Charlie Cox's Daredevil, all of them, Karen Page, all that crew, maybe early to mid 30s. So they're not looking for a 40-year-old Elektra.
42.
Yeah. But again, it doesn't matter because Charlie Cox doesn't look any particular age. You can tell us Daredevil's 31. We'll be like, yeah, that's fine.
So click, if you click on that, what's everybody saying about it? Like, what are their guesses? Elektra, okay. She works as a cleaning lady now.
That's the name of her show. She's the cleaning lady. Yeah.
No, I know. I watched
that show too.
That's why it was funny. I hear she works as a cleaning lady now. The way they said it was 100%. It just. Yeah, so that is the thing. So everyone's on the same boat where you were. Like, it could be Elektra.
Well, Greek, Elektra, Nachios. Like, that's, you know.
Yeah, right.
Julia Butters eyed to play Kitty Pryde. Let me see.
How old is Julia Butters?
I understand that Butters is Jewish, which is relevant given the character of Kitty Pryde is also Jewish. It's not. Confirm. My Jew sense isn't tingling. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Jesus, make him a Jew.
Kitty Pryde.
Anyone else? Don't care. Honestly, that's not fair. You could also make Magneto a Polish Jew. That's fine. Like, you can make him a black Polish Jew too. That's fine too. I don't care.
All right, so this
religion.
Seems fine. This seems okay.
She's cute enough to be Kitty Pryde. I allow it. Kitty Pryde's another one. Don't make her hot. Make her cute. She's not supposed to be hot. She's supposed to be cute with a glow up.
She's also gonna be really young if they're going with Julia Butters as well.
I don't know who's Julia Butters. Do you know her?
I don't know. I just looked her up. She's 15 years old, so I'm like, she's also gonna be really young.
Yes, I didn't know how old she was. Now that you've told me that, perfect cast.
Yeah.
Let's not sexualize children. Like, fine, great, wonderful. Don't put her in the red queen outfit. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
ever. Like 20 years from now, don't put her in that outfit. I don't want to deal with it. I'm now hearing X-Men will begin shooting next year for a 2027 release.
Okay. So we'll probably find out casting by like mid-year?
Yeah.
Mid-year next year? No, because they got to start filming next year. So they got to allow us that could come towards the end of the year.
It only takes 6 months to film a movie.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the casting, you don't have to announce it until like the end of the year if you're going to be filming it next year. I'm assuming filming mid next year for a release in 2027. Maybe I could be wrong about that.
Don't care. So let's talk about the only thing that matters.
Oh, let's do it.
Invincible season 3 dropped. 3 episodes.
3 all at once, man. All at once.
Good. They should have been all of them. It should have been fucking all of them. I'm really sick. I'm done with it,
though, bro.
I'm off it.
I wanted to binge everything, to be honest with you, because watching the 3 episodes today didn't feel long. It didn't feel like, oh man, this is like too much. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man felt like
I've said this a million times. Yeah, it felt like it was too long. The first when they dropped the 3, I was like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Look, I'm okay. Dramas get breaks.
Yep.
Action and comedy doesn't. That's the rule. That's the new rule. Hollywood, write this down. People who follow this rule will be successful in their wildest dreams. People who don't follow this rule will report Disney's fucking garbage numbers every year. Wow, we had 13 billion watch seconds.
Are you referring to Disney always talking about their minutes?
Yeah. Oh, great. Wonderful. You know, someone did the math on that. Someone did the math on it. No, they did the math because it was like, I think they said Acolyte had like, I don't remember, it was like 132 or just 32 million watch minutes.
Yeah.
And someone's like, there are 8 episodes. Each episode's about 45 minutes. That means that 8 million people watched this. Like, this show was watched the equivalent of 8 million times, right?
Yeah.
8 million. How many people? Nielsen rating doesn't move the bubble if it's under 2-digit millions. Like current TV, like current shit TV, like regular ass TV. 8 million people watch Netflix throwaway shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Easily.
Like, the Super Bowl is going to have hundreds of millions of viewers.
Right.
Not unique viewers, but people watching it. Hundreds of millions of viewers around the world watching the Super Bowl. That's a big event. 8 million views on your show is dog. Like, Squid Games had 7 episodes after 2 years between seasons. Squid Game season 1 was a phenomenal series. Told a great story. Worked away. I watched Squid Game season 2, all 7 episodes of it, and I fell asleep. I watched it sitting up in my bed. I fell asleep sitting up in my bed with my back support thingy because I'm old. You know, you've seen those pillows with the arms. You know, of course. You know what I'm talking 100%. About. You old too. One in my bed. Yeah, exactly. This is super comfortable. Right? So like, I fell asleep sitting up because it was the same thing but dumber. And
is that what it is? Okay.
It's the same. It's literally the first like 2 episodes was like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? If I'm wrong, already. Call me on it, anyone. But I'm not.
I love it already.
And then after it was like step by step the exact same thing, including who the bad guy was, what number he got, what his motivation was, and spoilers, guys. If you don't think Jihan, is it the name of the main character? I forget the name of the main character. That's how much I hated season 2. If you don't think the main character of Squid Games isn't going to become the recruiter in the like for that company, like the bad guy, you've already lost your fucking man. Like the show sucks. Best show, worst show. Like lightning speed, took them forever to film it, was irrelevant. Like, and I get it. This is a Korean show. They don't have the money, the time, the fucking anything to do anything. Like, I get it. They're not our Hollywood, but our Hollywood sucks too. So like, it took you forever to make a 7-season episode of a show where like you had to pay nothing. 90% of the people were just standing. Or one guy's name is Thanos in the show.
Really? Okay.
Just Thanos. That's his name. Thanos. He don't look like Thanos.
Well, I mean, to be fair, when you see what Thanos looks like, I mean, it's kind of hard to replicate that again, you know?
But like, this is the Matrix conversation. This is the Matrix. He sold that. He was a crypto bro. Like, it was terrible. Thank you, Jay. You watched it too. Good. It was fucking awful. If Thanos was a crypto bro, you know, that's who he was. So I'm sick of this. Like, Invincible, you did it. It's done. You're not releasing them as soon as they cut off the print. I would actually respect that more if they were like, guys, we're doing an episode the second it comes out, so there's 2 weeks between every episode. At least that's interesting, because I know I'm getting them literally as fast as I possibly can. They finished all of these fucking seasons. They're done. They're like, and they're following this archaic ancient business model that can't possibly be working for them. They're just telling the story in the same way that makes sense to the investors. if we release these over time, that's going to be an extra 1.2 months that people will subscribe to us, and that'll raise our numbers up. No one pays for Amazon Prime to watch Amazon Prime shows. They pay for Amazon Prime because they signed up for it once and they never unsigned up for it. That's the only reason. They signed up for it, and that's just what they pay now. They because they want the 2-day shipping and whatever. It's fine. I don't care, but that's not what's drawing views to Amazon Prime. They're not like, oh, no one who doesn't have Amazon Prime is like, I really should subscribe to this to watch Invincible. Oh no, It's not like that. This model doesn't fucking work anymore. It barely worked with Netflix, and Netflix knew that it didn't matter. So I'm pissed that we got 3 episodes of Invincible, because I watched all 3 episodes of fucking Invincible, and at the end of the 3rd one, I was like, cool, what happens now? Because I wanted to watch another. It's not there. I don't want to be like, oh, I'll wait a little bit. I'm going to forget about it. I'm not going to look forward to the next 1 or 3 episode dump of Invincible. I'm going to be reminded about it by some random thing. And that pisses me off. So now I've said that part. Goofy, what do you want to say about Invincible?
I had no issue with any of what you just said.
Okay, that's fine.
Well,
I haven't even talked about Invincible the show yet. We're talking about the show now.
Personally, like for me personally, is all I'm saying. Like I'm not. That wasn't an issue for me.
Big
no,
bad.
I actually appreciated the fact that they released the 3 episodes. And then with the release schedules that they're going to be releasing, what, 1 every week? Is that the release schedule? Or am I missing that? I think that's how the cadence is going to go. Yeah, that's how the cadence is going to go. So they release the first 3 episodes all at once. Then they are going to be releasing every Wednesday, I believe. They're going to be releasing an episode all the way up until March 6th. I think episode 7. No, it's supposed to be 8 episodes this year, isn't it? I believe it's supposed to be 8 episodes. I think they're supposed to be releasing an episode every single week after that. So, here's my thing. I don't mind it because maybe that's just my life and my busy schedule. I enjoy being able to. I don't mind binging a few episodes every single week. If they did the same thing that Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man did, which was, hey, let me drop 2 episodes this week and then drop 3 episodes next week. I'm actually okay with that because it just give a little bit of a gap.
Comedy, and action.
Oh, I thought you were saying comedy about something on the screen.
Comedy and action, that's a fine release cycle. Or no,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Good. Finish
I personally would have liked it if they were going to go with a multi-episode release schedule per week. It is a little disappointing to know that we're getting 3 episodes to start off with, but then we're going to be getting 1 episode every week going forward. I would have preferred if it was like 3, then 2, then 3, whatever the case was. And then, hey, the last week now, we're only going to give you this 1 episode, which is the finale for the season. So, to your point, I understand. I personally, for me, I still, if it wasn't for the sake of a podcast, if you want to look at it from that perspective, I probably would prefer just to have all episodes at once. That, like, that's what happened with Daredevil, right? Daredevil, Punisher will come out, and that's what we would do. We just go binge everything all at once. So I don't mind that, but because of my busy life schedule now, I'm okay with the way that things are released. I like a little bit of a build up towards the next episode. I liked the cliffhanger. It wasn't like a wow factor. I'll say this. There was nothing in these first 3 episodes that wowed me. Nothing made me say, oh my gosh, that just happened. Everything that happened was kind of predictable based on how last season ended, in a way. Now, I didn't know exactly how things were going to end up, but I already knew that there was going to be a rift between Cecil and Invincible. We also saw that in the trailer before everything happens to. So we knew that there was going to be some issues there based on what this is another thing too, right? Just based on me knowing enough information about the comics. I also knew how Oliver was going to act as well, kind of moving forward. So there was no really surprises. What I appreciated about the episodes was that there were just a little bit of twists, or not twists, a little bit of changes to character interactions. Like there's certain things like them flushing out Cecil's backstory a little bit more and understanding, how he does what is not necessarily good, but what is necessary in order to be able to save the world, and understanding that psychology. Seeing how basically he was in the position that Invincible is in right now, where he is he's seeing people do bad things for the overall good, but that was how Cecil was in the past, and then he made the transition to I know I got to do some bad stuff for the good. Mark is still in the place of, hey, I got to do I don't want to work with the bad in order to be able to achieve the good. So he's still working through that process. It's like a switcheroo, or different. They're at different places in their lives. So I like seeing the fact that Mark is getting real close to that villain stage. He's getting that he's getting real close to that. So there's a lot of things to enjoy. I love the fact that Eve and Mark are together finally. By the way, if you we talked about shows already, there's no spoilers, whatever. I like the fact that Mark and Eve are finally together. Um, there's a lot of things to like. Immortal is insufferable, as well as Kate. Both of them are just absolutely insufferable characters. I can't stand either one of them.
Kate's always been insufferable. Immortal is now insufferable.
Maybe that's what it is. Both of them together is absolutely insufferable. My favorite. I'm starting to come around to the point where like I feel like Cecil might be my favorite character in the entire show at this point.
Agreed.
Like I feel like I am not with Mark. Like where Mark is, I'm not with him. I don't agree with what he's doing at all. Like I'm not on his side. Like I'm on the side of Cecil, where he's like, no, like if you gotta be able to do some crap in order to be able to overall affect to produce good. Like this is what you're gonna have to do. I could go on, but we can delve into some more specific nuances. But what were your overall thoughts?
I'll finish the season thought, like the talking about the episode. The episodes that gave Cecil backstory. Well,
yeah.
So there were 3 episodes,
like,
right?
Yeah.
The first was the episode that gave Cecil backstory. That episode was phenomenal. We needed to understand, and we did. We understood why Cecil is the way he is. He does care.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't have the luxury of being a nice guy.
Right.
And the storytelling that they're telling of Oliver not understanding,
right,
but Cecil understand, like they're the same person with very different motivations. Cecil will put down a threat for the betterment of mankind. Oliver will put down a threat for the betterment of mankind. They are not motivated in the same way. Oliver does it because
Mark.
He's a child.
You mean
Oliver?
Oh, the child.
Oliver does it because he's a child and doesn't understand. Cecil does it because he is an adult who has experienced it and understands full well. That is the difference. That is why Cecil is not a villain.
Mm-hmm.
He's an antagonist. He is not a villain.
Not a villain. Mm-hmm.
And that is a huge demographic difference because he is not sacrificing anything. He is making the decisions at game time, and he is putting himself there. He's not sending people out to die. He got D.A. Sinclair to make an army of disposable fucking men. Cadavers. Not people, not living beings. Cadavers. just donated to science bodies that can be used as an army of soldiers. No loss.
Yep.
Great. He gave was it Dark Knight? Shit Batman?
Wing? Yeah.
Darkwing? Shit Batman. He gave shit
Yeah,
Batman.
yeah.
Teleporty Batman. A chance. He implanted a control chip in Mark.
Yeah.
Not because he doesn't like Mark. He likes Mark a lot. Not because he doesn't trust Mark. He trusts Mark enough. Because if he can't know, Mark is too powerful.
Right.
And then you saw that with Omni-Man. He's like, okay, let me be clear. This guy's trying to help. I say we do. Figure out what he's weak to in case.
Right.
Batman had the what is it? The Agamemnon Protocol, I think, which was like how to defeat the Justice League.
Justice League, yep.
Yeah, like you gotta know. What if he becomes mind controlled? What are we gonna do?
Right.
If Mark wanted to, this season, there is not the only person who could stand to Mark is Adam Eve. She is the most powerful person in the Invincible universe. She doesn't know it yet. She doesn't have that control of her power yet.
Mm-hmm.
She's the most powerful being. She can change the atoms in your body to not be your body anymore. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know how to do that. Or she doesn't want to.
Which, by the way, nice touch of them showing that she's having to learn how to use her powers correctly. Like, great storytelling there.
She's choosing to. Adam Eve is my favorite fucking character. She's not my favorite in the comics, but that's unrelated because Alan the Alien's my favorite in the comics.
Okay.
Alan's my favorite. Adam Eve is my favorite character in the show.
Alan's cool as heck, yeah.
Another note, they seem to have changed the animation studio a little bit. It's not bad, but it's different, and I could tell because a lot of the conversations, they're very flat-faced. Like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm going to try to jim the camera a little bit. Like, the eyes and the mouth move, and there are no other fake, like...
okay.
Their jaws don't, like, when I talk, my face moves, you know, like, parts of the body... Their mouth and lips move. Their eyes blink. Nothing. Complete steady. Like, they look like ventriloquist dummies. If you, now that I've said it, if you watch it again, you'll be like, fuck, there it is. It's not bad. The action scenes are still great. Like, everything's still great, but they must have changed something because there's a lot of talking in Invincible. Yeah, and I noticed it was a difference.
Yeah, a lot of character interaction this time.
So that was that. There are 8 episodes. I know now, without shadow of a doubt, I'm going to be let down by this season. I have to be, because what they've set up in the first 3 episodes can't possibly be told in 5, in the next 5. We can't see what happens with... No spoilers for episode 3, just to avoid it. What happens with that bad guy? What happens with Nolan and Alan? What happens with Cecil? What this all can't wrap up.
Oliver.
Oliver.
Eve,
they've set up so much story. The new Guardians team. Yep,
they can't do it.
They can't possibly. The new teen team, which is not called the teen team.
Yep.
They didn't. They're doing these post credits, right? Like the after the end, and these things are setting stuff up, and what they're setting up, they can't possibly pay off in 5 episodes. Well, they could do it. It just won't. Like, there's no way it's rewarding. I feel like this is another full cliffhanger season.
And that's what I was going to say.
Everything's going to be left over.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like they are doing that intentionally. They don't plan on wrapping everything up. They plan on leaving you with some cliffhangers to say, here's what to look forward to in season 4. They're 100% do that. Yeah, which is frustrating because when
Now
did
you
this
see where
one
I'm
come
at.
out? Okay.
Now you see where I'm at. If they dropped an entire 8 episodes is not a. I'm tired of accepting 8-episode seasons as a reasonable thing. I don't.
Yeah,
I will hear no
the years of
criticisms.
13, 14 episodes are gone now. Like nobody does that anymore.
Yeah, correct. Nobody does 13 or 14 episode seasons except the people that still do. There are still shows that do that. And broadcast television, which still does that. Like, and they're all hour long. They're not these 36-minute with 10 minutes of fucking trailers like Disney does.
Yeah.
Like credits.
Oh, you
10
mean
minutes
like
in different languages? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like 8 episodes is a half season. I don't care about anything else. Or 8-hour-long episodes, 8 hours of television. Are these episodes an hour? I don't think so. I think they're like 40 something.
They're about like they're like 48, 40, 45 to 48 minutes around there. Not long.
They're not an hour. And you're not limited. We talked about this a long time ago. You're not limited. You can make each one an hour long. I don't want to hear any criticisms about, well, it's animation. It's not harder to do animation now than it was before. It's infinitely easier now to do animation than it was any time before. And Justice League and Justice League Unlimited had 22 episode fucking seasons. Cut them in half because they were all 20 something minutes because they're all half-hour episodes. Mm-hmm. That's 11 episodes. This is 8. And it's not even like a true 8. So like when I say this is dog shit, I can't guarantee that I would binge watch every episode of Invincible if it was out right now.
Yeah.
I would watch as much as I can, and because I like it, I would be excited to go back and watch more. We are always going to be a binge watch culture. You can't unfuck the pig. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. You can't close Pandora's box. As a society, we have learned that we can watch everything we want right now.
Yep.
If I wanted to, I can watch every episode of... I'll use a show I recently watched. I rewatched all of Dexter.
Okay.
All of it. Every episode. Including New Blood. I rewatched that. It took me about a week. I didn't rewatch it sitting in my chair the entire... about 2 weeks. But like, a week and a half maybe. But like, I watched like an episode or two. And then stop. And then I'd watch a couple episodes. Or I'd have them on as I was doing something. Or whatever. And it's fine. Like, it's fine. Now, I could be busy. That's not a release cycle. I can't. There's nothing from stopping me if they released all these episodes from watching all 8 at once, or watching 3 yesterday, 1 today, 2 tomorrow because it's Saturday, and the other 2 on Sunday. Nothing's stopping me. I can watch at my schedule. I'm not required to watch it right now.
Yeah.
Even the content creator in me is like, if it was my job to release this content and do it this way, I'd find a way to do it. I'd watch 8 hours of content and make 8 hours worth of videos. Like, I would do it. That's what would separate me from the people who aren't doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Or I would do one big retrospective at the end of it that was a really long video, and hopefully my quality would be enough that people would watch it. That, like, as a content creator, like, mentality. The Spider-Man release, I love it. For a show I don't care about, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with releasing multiple episodes at once, because this is not an episode. This is a mini series, except there's no incentive. 8 episodes is not a series of anything. I don't care if I'm told that. It's just not like they can make this for the rest of time. I'm not going to consider it that way. And the people who are paying money aren't going to consider it that way. I own Netflix. I have Netflix. I have Hulu, and I have Amazon Prime. And I don't watch anything on Netflix, on Hulu, or on Amazon Prime. I watch them all on our sites. Why? Because the R sites are easier to manage, and fuck them for having absolutely fucking terrible release structures. I'm not going to reward you. Netflix and Hulu I get from my phone plan. Amazon Prime I get from unrelated bullshit. Like, I'm not paying them. It counts as a subscriber number. I'm not going to cancel it. So it costs me nothing to have these, you know, like nothing extra to have these services. So great. But like, I'm not watching it on that service.
To that, Spider-Man has their release date schedule is that next week you're going to get another 3 episodes. And then the following week, you're going to get the 2 final episodes. So episode 9 and then the finale. And then that's it. That's it for the show.
X-Men was a drama. I was okay with them releasing 1 episode a week.
Yeah.
Because it was a short, it was a drama, and there needed to be time, especially after some episodes. You needed a little bit of time between them.
Yeah.
But that pacing makes sense.
Remember,
if I'm not paying extra for a service I get for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not waiting more time, and nobody is. People aren't doing it. The days of like, oh wow, did the people who are watching that there are more people that watch YouTube and streamers talk about stuff than there are people that watch that stuff anymore now. Fact. Like, there are more people that watch Star Wars Theory talk about Star Wars than there are people that watch Star Wars TV shows. There are more people that watch I was going to say like Screen Crush, but not anymore. And no one watches New Rockstars anymore. So like, there's more people that watch Emergency Awesome talk about TV shows than there are people that watch those TV shows. Because why would I watch the TV show when I can get the gist of the TV show from this guy? And if I'm interested, when it all comes out, I could watch it at my leisure. That for dramas, like House was a show where Lost was a show where you would wait a week. Game of Thrones, quality storytelling, where at the end of the episode, the story was complete and you got a little bit towards a big story. I don't feel the same watching Invincible. I feel like every episode is its own thing, and I want to know more, but I don't care to know more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the feeling I get. I could be alone in this. I don't believe I am. I believe that people just aren't watching shit anymore until it's time to binge. And I think that like the reason you see every show on all of these platforms, including Severance, which is a new show on Apple TV, these shows they either start low, peak up, and then dip, or they start high and fucking fall. People just are like, it's not worth it to tune in. I'll catch it. I'll catch up in 3 weeks. I'll watch 3 episodes. I think that's just more the speed of humans in America now. Because right now, I could rewatch all of Invincible season 2 and get an Invincible fix, and then wait. What is this? Literal a month and a week. Right now, a month and a week.
Yeah,
and
so you're saying
Invincible.
Yeah, you would prefer to just wait until what? Come on in on it on what, March? That you can just binge all the episodes that you want.
I'm saying the fact that now I have to find time next week to watch episode 4 of Invincible in order, if we're going to talk about it this week, is more inconvenient to me than if we were going to talk about episode 4 this next week and it was available for me to watch anytime, including now.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's just if we're going to talk about it. I feel like as a viewer of this show, there's been a lot of shows where I just won't watch every week, or I'll forget. There's shows I forget to watch. I'm like, oh yeah, I was watching that. That's a death curse. I can't be the only one. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be the only person. I know there's people that aren't, right? Like there's people that are like die hard gonna watch it no matter what. There's fucking people that are like, guys, we're doing a watch party for fucking Invincible episode 4. You know, like we're all gonna like. There's people that do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm cool with that. But like, ultimately, 8 episodes isn't a season to me. A season starts at 10 episodes. Anything less than 10 episodes, you're just jerking off. Like you're just like, eh. And then if you have the audacity to have an 8 episode season and expect it to last 2 months of viewing, like, do you ever see Idiocracy?
I have not.
There's a joke that like they don't put water in anything because the Gatorade company in the future employs everybody. So everyone drinks Gatorade for everything. Okay. And they're trying to water the crops with Gatorade.
Yeah.
And the guy who's supposed to be the smartest guy in the world, who's just an average, intelligent guy from our time, like just a regular dude, is like, dude, just put water on the plants. They'll grow. And everyone's like, water? Like from the toilet? Because the only place you could find water is in the fucking toilet.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like when people are like, oh yeah, just wait next week and watch an episode. I'm like water from the toilet? I'm not doing that. Yes, we're a dumber society, and yes, I'm a part of it. I've never claimed to be smart. Like ever. I'm not smart. But I know that I'm not watching it. I don't think we're headed towards Idiocracy. I think, historically speaking, we've always been stupid as a people. We've always been a horrendously dumb. Humanity is stupid. Humanity is stupid, and there is always a few shining beacons taking opportunity of the fact that everyone's stupid. There are people right now in our country, in America, my country. I don't know about ours. In me and Goofy's, our country, in America.
That's fair. You do have to make sure.
Who are buying meme coins and getting rug pulled. And not old people either, inherently. Like not like you know, the scams that old people fall for, going to buy a GameStop business card because they're like, oh, we're the IRS. Like, no, there are people who are like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this meme coin, and then just watch as like $50,000 of their savings is gone in a heartbeat. That's natural fucking selection. If you lose $50,000 on a meme coin pump and dump, you were supposed to lose $50,000 on a meme coin pump and dump. Like, you were not supposed to have $50,000 in the fucking first place. And I'm using that number. If you use $10, you weren't supposed to have $10. Like, if that fucks you up, good. You should not have had that access. It's bad who's getting that money, because they're just going to do worse things with it. But, like, you can't fight that. I don't believe, as a society, we're ever going to we're never regressive. When we had alcohol, and they tried to prohibit alcohol, it became more easy for the government to make alcohol legal again than to try to stop and prosecute all of the fucking bootleggers. Like, it just was. It just was. You can, Teak. You have to be at least some degree of a sociopath to do it, but you can. Just believe in yourself that you're a monster and you can do it. Like we for almost a decade, we were access to, when a new show comes out on a streaming platform that you could watch from your phone, your computer, your TV, anything like that, you could watch all of it at your leisure whenever you want, which means on a Sunday that you have nothing to do, you and the wife, the kids, the husband, the boyfriend, the mistress can sit in a hotel room or your living room or a parking lot with your iPad, and you could watch episodes as much as you want on one day. Not, oh, let's set aside time on a Wednesday night to watch this Amazon Prime release of Invincible to this animated cartoon about incredible violence and how superheroes are stupid. Like, when I say it like that, right?
No, when you say it like that, though.
When I say it like that, you're like, I get it. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, it's stupid. It's stupid. This is stupid. We're all stupid for doing it. And we're going to keep being stupid. Like, and then we look at Echo, and Echo was all dropped in one, and the show wasn't good, but I still had a better time watching the bad show of Echo than I have had watching any other fucking show. Content creator me, Goof, I like the weekly release because we only have to talk about one thing. But look at us now. We're gonna milk fucking Invincible for the next 4 weeks? No. Next week next 2 weeks we're gonna be talking about Captain America.
Captain America, 100%. We'll touch on it, but it won't be like the primary focus, without question. Like, it can be. How?
In my last podcast, when I was doing on Marvel with the guys, I was like, I'm not watching She-Hulk. I watched the first 2 episodes of She-Hulk, and I was like, I'm not watching She-Hulk. Yeah. I don't care for it. I'm gonna binge it when it's done. And I was like, when you guys are ready, you guys can talk about She-Hulk. I'm gonna fuck off. And like during that part of the podcast, I would leave. I would literally like take my headphones off and leave the room. And I get a text message from one of them when they're like, we're done. And I would come back in and I'm like, okay, cool. And that was it. I didn't re-listen to it. And then at the end, I gave my honest opinion, having watched all of She-Hulk, which was, oh, I get it. This is supposed to be a commentary on how shitty their writing team was. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Like, I didn't like it after the first 2, and then when I saw the entire thing, I was like, oh, they're saying they're bad writers. Okay, I get it now. It's very funny. Ha ha. But that's it. I love Invincible. It's a great show. It's not the show that's suffering from this. It's the shitty release structure. That's my soapbox. I won't talk about this again, I promise.
Or we will
for like a couple weeks. For a couple of weeks.
If we need more, if we need to stretch the time out, then no, we will.
We got to an hour 30. I did my best, Goof. I do my best every time. What else you got? Anything?
No, that's it for me. I mean, there's nothing. Literally, we're not going to talk about Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So there's nothing else to talk about.
Is there anything to talk about? No, probably. I won't. I'm not watching it, but I'm not like saving it either.
And by the way, let me be very clear. I don't hate the show. Like I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like it's something to watch. I'm enjoying what I'm watching. I'm just saying, there's just not enough for me to talk about it. That's all I'm saying. There's just not enough for me to talk about it. Yeah. Listen, I can't fake the funk, man. I can't do it.
Oh yeah. Who watches wrestling? Who watches pro wrestling? Last week, Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, fucking wins the goddamn fucking Rumble. I'm fucking the entire time. I'm jumping. I'm like, yay! Like, let's go.
I'm not sure. Based on your hand gestures, I'm not sure that's exactly what you were doing. So I was a little confused.
This is exactly what I was doing. Don't even pretend. Main event Jey Uso.
I only saw one hand going that way, and the one hand made it look. I couldn't see the left hand.
Elon Musk. I'm not like, I'm not even doing it. I'm not even doing it.
I was gonna say, don't even
Ray
try,
and Penta
bro.
Start the Rumble. Yo, we can talk about wrestling. Yo, Goof, if you ever like, yo, I gotta go real quick. Anytime you ever have to say that, I'm just gonna talk about pro wrestling because I know you don't watch pro wrestling.
I don't,
and I know like there's nothing like that's the Star Wars time. I'll just be like, okay, so this week I'm pro wrestling, like real quick, get it in there. I fucking love it.
What I should do is that once I finally watch all the episodes of Skeleton Crew, we should just come on first and just talk about my experience with Skeleton Crew. just give a retrospective on Skeleton Crew. Hey, I finally finished all the episodes of Skeleton Crew. Yeah, here's how I feel.
I can't wait for that, Goof. I will shut the fuck up the entire time. I will unplug my microphone. The second you finish Skeleton Crew, you tell me the day before, As long as it's not like it like when we're talking about like a movie or like a big like a big movie or something.
Oh, if it's Captain America Brave New World or something, like we can't do it then. But
and I will shut my mic off. I will still talk. No one will hear it. You won't hear it. You'll just see my like the entire time.
Yeah. No, that's definitely holy crap. Okay. Oh,
we all just say how these two are really the best exes everyone can hope for. Chill wingmen. Yeah.
Yeah. First and foremost, love Rex. Like Rex is absolutely amazing. Amazing character.
Are we shipping them?
I mean, if it happens, it happens. But I'm not like, oh, this must happen. Mark and Eve, I'm like, that must happen. This Amber thing is nice. We know it ends eventually.
Oh,
we know it has to end eventually. Yeah.
Debbie is the best mom in the world.
Oh, she's amazing, bro. Absolutely
she's
amazing.
The best mom ever. Sandra Oh nails it. She deserves a fucking award for it. Debbie is this is her fucking psycho killer murderous husband's bastard.
Yeah,
and
damn, you
she
have to put it that way, but that is
this
what she is.
fucking child.
Yes, she does.
And with all of her fucking heart, and he knows she does, and he is an alien from another fucking planet, and he's like, she's like, no flying in the house, and he's like, oh, Mom, and he's listening because he knows how awesome a mom she is. She's the best mom ever. All other moms could take a lesson from Debbie. Fucking aces. I'm not a huge fan of how she told everybody Mark's secret, but
I mean, come on now.
But like she needed to get some. The cobwebs are building up, so I'm feeling it.
That's funny. When you put it that way though, that's fine. Whoa.
Oliver's supposed to be annoying. Sorry, I'm just kind of.
Oh, you kind of just like going through what people are saying.
Does anyone think it's weird that this character comes out of nowhere and takes so much screen time from Invincible? Perfect meme. Simu Liu was, dude, I fucking died when they said his name. Multiple. I was off of it, dude. I was fucking rocking. Mauler twins break into a nuclear silo to draw out the Guardians. Only half the Guardians show up. Invincible when fighting most villains. Invincible when getting into a fight with Cecil.
I'm Team Cecil. I think everybody should probably be Team Cecil at this point. He makes the most sense to me. He makes the most sense. Mark is immature and a child.
Cecil did nothing wrong.
What else is there?
Cecil didn't even tell the Reanimen to kill him. He specifically was like, stop him. Stop him. And on top of it, Rexplode is the one who blew up the fucking thing.
Right.
Oh, right out of the panels.
Oh, this is a comic, huh?
So good. Immortal has been goated these past 3 episodes. Immortal has been the vein of my existence. Yeah, fuck Immortal. If this Blue Ducky, you truly need to touch grass, bud. Like,
yeah, bro.
If Immortal is the guy and you're like, yeah, Immortal is like, I'm not even meaning it. They're specifically writing Immortal to be a bag of dicks.
100%. They're doing it on purpose. 100%.
Yeah, but that's the intent. So if you're like, this is like those people that are like, yo, South Park said this thing. Be like, no, South Park didn't say it. Cartman said it. And if you ever find yourself agreeing with Eric fucking Cartman, I have some really bad news for you. You're the person they're making fun of. Like, you are the joke.
It's like this, right? People are like, oh, Homelander. Well, actually, there's two parts to this. There are people who are like, we love Homelander. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
Homelander
I love Homelander.
is absolute dog crap. Like you may love Homelander the character,
yeah,
but you can't
the
love
character,
what Homelander is
phenomenal.
doing.
Love
but
him.
then also those same people will be like, we hate Homelander and we hate the things that he does. We love him, but we hate the things that he does. But Butcher, he's our guy.
They're the same person.
No, like Butcher
they're
is
the
also
same
evil.
person.
Like,
no, they're the exact same person. They're the same fucking person. Like you can't see this. Like,
like Butcher's bad.
The only person that you should even slightly like, if you're not a crazy person, the only person that you should kind of feel for the entire series, ever is Huey.
He's Huey. Yeah.
He's just doing his best.
He's not
He's
okay.
doing his best.
He's not okay.
He's trying. Everyone else in the series is an atrocity.
Yeah, 100%.
Starlight is they're all monsters.
Wow. Talk about gaslighting. Starlight's a gaslighter.
They're all monsters, bro.
Yeah,
every single one of them. A-Train is a monster. I like the backstory tells you why.
Yeah.
It's important to know why someone's bad. Because if you don't know why someone's bad, you don't care.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to like, this is the talk shit, get hit moment. If you talk shit,
I just look at your screen. I'm like, how many more of these is Cecil going to allow?
How many more what?
How many more of these is Cecil going to allow? He's been hemmed up a couple times now.
Bro, I swear, I was watching it with my friend.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I was like, if Cecil doesn't come out with some immediate, like, he has that teleporter. Dude's got to have a teleporter that triggers whenever his neck is grabbed. Gone. Like, Cecil, my boy.
At this point in time, bro, it's on you. Like, at this point in time, fam, it's
hey,
your
look,
fault,
it's me.
Bro.
This is a real picture of me. Hey, but I want it now, and then it's me in my living room, just kicking.
Oh,
Cecil.
Man. I like his character.
This is an entire arc that I want to know more about.
Yeah, I like his character.
I love
like
Titan.
whatever. That was something that I saw. I'm like, I had to remind myself. I'm like, yo, who is this guy? And I was like, oh yeah, he's basically the Kingpin. And it's essentially what he is. Like he's essentially the Kingpin. And I'm like, what happened to his story? What's going on here?
So now we can talk about it a little bit more because we're in it, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that the people who left Cecil, the crew that were like, yo, fuck this Guardian shit, I don't think they were wrong. Yeah. Because like, if you saw who stayed and who went, you understand why, right?
Yeah.
So Immortal stayed because he's motherfucking Abraham Lincoln. He is, right? Immortal stayed because he is old enough to know. I think he's a caveman. I think that's the way they told the story. He's old enough to understand the most important truth, which is that Cecil is a good guy. Not a nice guy, but he's on the side of good.
Right.
Black Samson, I hate that so much. And I hate saying it so much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But I'm going to keep saying it because that's his name in the show, and it's important to note. Black Samson, same kind of thing. He's an old veteran. He understands there are problems, but we can change it from here. Shapesmith, right? Shapesmith nailed it. He's like, he didn't kill me, and he gave me a race car bed, so I'm going to stay here. And I'm like, no, that's correct. Kate, who is a cunt, was like, my husband's staying, so I'm staying. Like
Right.
Kate is no longer a person anymore. Kate is now an accessory. She is now a piercing on Immortal's dick. She was a person. She became an insufferable person in season 2. She is now the worst kind of person in season 3. So either they give her a better arc, or they just accept the fact that they've set feminism back 20 years with Kate. Those are their options. That's it.
Is what it is.
I'm being hyperbolic.
No, but it is.
Like,
It is what it is. Yeah.
Like, so, but everyone who left had a good reason to leave.
Mm-hmm.
They had all the context. There was no hidden context here.
Yep.
There was no, like, Mark was not trying to kill Cecil.
Yep.
Even Cecil knew that.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't change the fact that whether Mark's trying to kill Cecil or whether Mark might lose control are things that like, Cecil's a dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So he was like, Mark, dude, this is for my like, he was 100 the entire time. We're in this room for my protection. I don't want you to fuck me up.
Yeah.
I
like,
understand you're mad.
Damn.
I understand you're mad. Calm the fuck down. Let's talk about this. We're not going to talk about it. Mark is a little bit too big for his britches right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason for it.
He's immature.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
Angstrom Levy in the entire last season.
He has,
right?
He has a lot of pressure. You got Oliver. You got
Oliver.
You got his dad. Prove to yourself that you're not your dad.
He knows his dad got kidnapped.
Yep.
So, like, he can't do anything about it because he ain't shit. He's got his mom. He's got a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so he's not okay. And he still has that childlike morality sense. Bad is bad, good is good. There's no middle ground.
Yep.
That Oliver doesn't have. Oliver has that same sense. He just doesn't have the next step. So Mark, like, think of it like an elevation level. It's like Oliver's like, bad people are bad, must be destroyed, must get rid of. Mark is like, bad people are bad, but killing bad people makes you a bad person, so we just have to stop them. And then, like, there's the other side of Cecil, which is like, if they're bad and cannot be saved, they should be gone. Like,
right.
That's the you know, the arc. You end up at the same spot, but your motivations are fucking different.
Mm-hmm.
Cecil, the people who left had every right to leave because they witnessed what Cecil did to someone that they all know for a fact is a good guy.
Yep.
They know he is. Everybody there loves Mark. Rex loves Mark. Mm-hmm. Rex loves Mark. Like, when they saw that happen, they're like, if he could do that to Invincible, we have no trust. Like, the trust is broken. Right. The guys who stayed are like, yeah, but we knew that already. The guys who left, they're also young, but they're like, but we don't need to do that. We could just do our own thing. Mm-hmm. And that's where we run into what we have here. Oliver is terrifying. Yeah, they're doing really good for Oliver.
Yeah.
I love these two came out of nowhere, succeeded, and never mentioned again. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that's gonna be that goes back to the whole thing again that you're talking about, where there are so many things going on. How do they wrap this up in 5 episodes? That's insane.
They have to start wrapping it up next episode. Like, that's how crazy it is. And now I'm like, all the character writing is perfect. Yeah. Not a single, again, like I said, I have criticisms, but they might be trying to do that with Kate. They might be trying to show.
I think they're intentionally doing that with Kate. I don't think they've completely like 180 switched her.
But, like, you've read the comics, right?
I've watched videos on the comics. That's different.
There's stuff
but I have enough
that
context.
happens.
Yeah.
There's stuff that happens. Like whatever they're setting up a good number of stuff that does happen in the comics, but one, they're telling it a little bit out of order, and two, there's stuff that happens that's infinitely more fucking. Like what's
like I know Cecil,
the Viltrumite woman,
Anissa,
is that her name?
Yeah.
The Viltrumite, she last season we saw her.
Short hair. That completely.
Yeah, short hair. Real hot.
Just, completely.
There's
Mark.
stories about her that are not okay.
I'm aware.
And
of
I don't know
stories.
how they're gonna handle. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else does or doesn't, but like,
yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna handle that. But that's something that's important, and they set it up. And if that happens next episode,
that isn't that what ultimately pushes Mark to the edge. From what I can remember, like that is what really like sets him over, isn't it?
Rudy, Rudy cures Monster Girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what happens to them in the storyline?
Not in the storyline, no.
I'm not going to give too much spoilers.
I only have small bits and pieces of it. Like I know Anissa,
Rudy and
I know Ollie. Like what happens with him?
Rudy and her go to the Flaxon dimension.
Okay.
Remember the place with the aliens that age like 8,000 times faster?
Mm-hmm.
But they're functionally fucking immortal in that dimension.
Oh.
Because the time moves faster, but they are not affected. Because remember, the people from their dimension came here and were affected by the way time works.
By time, yeah.
And in that process, they become an awesome... I'm not going to go into detail because that's spoilers. But, like, that's awesome. It's such a great story. Did they use the same character twice? Yes, they did. They look, it's this guy here and here. Who cares? Like... Why do they assume he's a different superhero? Well, because his costume is different than his.
Right.
Wouldn't you?
100%.
Mark's healing speed is something else.
It's actually slower than... Well, actually, to be fair, it wouldn't have been able to be penetrated
this
by
all happened
others.
This all happened in a matter of like 14 minutes. He woke up, came to immediately, bought it back, then immediately fucking left, flew to the fucking Pentagon to see Cecil, left like this all happened in like maybe an hour. He healed from a gaping bug bite wound.
But what I'm saying though is that wouldn't other Viltrumites not, like, their skin wouldn't have been penetrated the way that his was though? Or is it just like certain specific things that can penetrate their skin?
So the way Viltrumites work is they work, the older they get, the stronger they get. So Mark is, and I mean this seriously, maybe a 2-year-old Viltrumite. His powers manifested when he was 17.
Yeah.
He is 19 at the time. They mentioned it. He's 19 years old in the time of this. Oliver is 1 year old at the time of this. And he is not only a functional fucking like 16-year-old or 15-year-old or whatever, 12-year-old, whatever he aged as, but Oliver ages faster, and he is now going to be stronger than Mark in Viltrumite time immediately.
Yep.
Well, then he's going to level out. But Oliver is going to be powered by his Viltrumite powers for longer than Mark has, for like 3 years. So in a 3-year period of time, Oliver, or in a 1.5 year period of time, Oliver is going to gain 3 years of power over Mark.
Yep.
They might be even, but that's how Viltrumites work. The older you are as a Viltrumite, the more powerful you become. Mark is not training to become stronger. He's just becoming stronger. They mentioned in the first episode, he's 138% stronger in the 6 months he's been training with them.
Yeah.
He's not putting on muscle mass. He just aged 6 months as a Viltrumite.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how Nolan bodied him. And then look at how all the gray-haired Viltrumites that fought Nolan bodied Nolan. You know, like in season 2. The Viltrumites are a very weird, like, their physiology is weird. And you only become a Viltrumite when your powers manifest. And that's when your DNA gets almost completely overtaken.
Okay.
So Mark, this is 45 minutes to an hour. Mark went from gaping hole in chest, leaking fucking toxin, to fighting like a bunch of Reanimen. In like 5 years' time, Mark's gonna be the strongest being on the next to Adam Eve, but like, and in like a decade, Mark will be on par with any Viltrumite. You know what I mean? Like, it's just it's interesting. I don't know who that is. Oh, Kirkman? Love Kirkman.
That's Kirkman, yeah, Robert Kirkman.
How Oliver be moving after being left alone for a nanosecond. Hold on. I don't.
I'm not understanding this.
I don't get it.
I'm glad it wasn't just me. I was like, am I missing the punchline here?
I'm not like my dad. I want to believe you, Mark, but I'm also not stupid. Fucking Cecil. I didn't get the joke either. There was also no sound, so. All right, hold on.
All right.
This is cosplayer Lauren DeLorean. And we're done.
All right.
Wednesday. We'll leave it.
We'll leave
it on this. We'll leave it right here for everybody to end the scene. And we're done. We'll talk next week about we'll talk about no spoilers Captain America. We'll talk just vibes. Just vibes. Oh wait, we're on the same goof.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Should I do it again?
No. Meet me.
Hold on, which hand should I use here?
The one that matches up. Oh, do the other way.
Okay.
Use the other hand, but face. We're doing the heart. All right, we quit. I quit. We suck. We're terrible.
I think I should use
Good night,
this
everybody.
hand. All right.
Do this. Do this. Throw up the gang